Greetings, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is your Western forecast for August 2024. A lot of readjusting, reevaluating. This is the month not to keep taking it to the next level, but to make sure that where you've been coming from is now solid. But it does indicate, for the most part, that you're not just checking under the hood to see if everything is solid and on the right track, but there's this real need for some adjustments. So something needs to be reevaluated and some important changes to then make the foundation solid and start moving to the next level after August. Why? Decision-making communication Mercury will retrograde August the 4th till August the 28th. Mercury retrogrades every 4 months for 3 weeks. It's usually not life-changing. Could be some misunderstandings, some delays, disappointed with expectations. But the real crutch here is expansive Jupiter is going to be squaring restricted Saturn. Jupiter connects to Saturn about every 3 years. Jupiter is prosperous, expansive. Saturn is worrisome, limiting, restricted. Jupiter-Saturn can be job changes, can be a lot of financial restlessness, can even be testing relationships. But before I break how this all down and how it applies to you, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer. All right. If you've been watching my videos, you'll notice that I always like to start to where's the sun shining. The sun's in Leo from the end of July, the first 3 weeks of August. Where the sun is shining, it's where we're being lit up. What's important to us? Where's our priority? Well, this sun in Leo is opposite Aquarius. Opposite deals with the significant other, whether it is marriage, whether it is a business partnership, or any kinds of interactions with the public. Now, the sun went into Leo at the end of July. So you've been thinking a lot about relationships and contracts, etc. But on the new moon in Leo on August the 4th, that's when now you are really setting your intentions. You're becoming more decisive. But interestingly enough, that new moon in the 7th house is going to be a major focus on relationship decisions. Communication Mercury goes retrograde on the same day. Mercury will retrograde August the 4th to August the 28th. So this new moon, which is really focusing on relationship and contract matters, but it's going to have a lot to do with a lot of revising, rethinking, renegotiating. But now you know which partnerships, which contracts you're focused on, but now you got to do all of the revising. Good news is that generous, prosperous, optimistic Jupiter will be in Gemini in harmony with the new moon in Leo. So that new moon with Jupiter is bringing a lot of promise and growth and opportunity Maybe it comes from others. Maybe there's a job offer, contract offer. a love offer, with the new moon in the 7th house of partnerships. The sun leaves Leo, goes into Virgo on August the 21st for 4 weeks through the first 3 weeks of September. Now, when the sun's in Virgo, it's drawing your attention to 8th house matters. But because the new moon on August the 4th was holding your attention to the beginning of September, the sun in Virgo is not pulling away these issues with contracts and marriage and partnerships. We're starting to add another layer of interest with the 8th house. The 8th house, where now you're getting more interested in by the last week of August, the 8th house has a lot to do with financial joint ventures. And then the 7th house could be the negotiations, the mediations. Venus is that planet of protection and love. Venus will be in Virgo in your 8th house, August the 4th to the 29th. So the entire time Mercury is in retrograde and you're doing a lot of reevaluating where your life is going, Venus is in Virgo. Well, Mercury starts off reevaluating everything in Virgo until the 14th, and it's retrograding back into Leo, more into the 7th house of marriage and partnerships. But it starts off with all this 8th house of more financial interests and negotiations, taxes, insurance, loans, inheritance. But Venus will also be, for most of August, in the 8th house, bringing more protection with financial matters. A little bit later, we'll talk about more intimacy with Venus in the 8th house. Now, the Jupiter-Saturn square. So we've got all this readjusting and reevaluating with Mercury in retrograde that starts from the 8th house of your financial obligations, moving back by the 14th into the 7th house of partnerships and marriage, and you continue to rethink all of that. But Mars, I talked about this last month, Mars is a 2-year cycle and went into Gemini July the 20th till September the 4th, joining Jupiter, which went into Gemini at the end of May, once every 12 years till May of 2025. So from August, Mars and Jupiter are together. It's a positive, because Mars is that courage, that motivation, that drive. Jupiter expands, brings lux, brings growth, brings a lot of successful work activities, achieving your goals. That's Mars and Jupiter when they're aligned in the same sign. Since Jupiter is going to be there for 12 years, almost 12 more years, then every 2 years, the Mars is going to be back into Gemini. So every other year, for a month or so, we're going to have this Mars-Jupiter, this, for everybody, this courage to really go for achieving your goals. And it's very successful energies. But Gemini is an air sign, very compatible with Aquarius, an air sign. And the Mars-Jupiter will be in the 5th house, because Gemini is 5 signs past Aquarius. So all this enthusiasm and courage and drive with 5th house is romance, it's children, it's creative projects. In business, it's investing. And with Mars and Jupiter, there's always this sense of luck and optimism. Let's just go for it. Creatively, romantically, having babies, playing with children. But Saturn, as you've been hearing me talk about for a long time now, in 2023, taskmaster responsible Saturn went into Pisces, Pisces is the second sign past Aquarius. The second sector deals with cash flow. Saturn in the second is 2023, 2024, 2025, once every 30 years. It often starts off worrying about money. It's not enough money. I've got to make more money. Somewhere in the middle, which would be now, certainly stronger into that last year, coming up on 2025, people tend to make more money than usual because they've been so worried that it's not enough money that they've been making a lot of commitments in all sorts of ways to make more money. Now, that Saturn in the second house of income is blocking that prosperous Jupiter. The Jupiter will exactly square Saturn on August the 19th. The whole world's going to be feeling it the whole month. I like to narrow it down to the week before and especially the week after. So there's going to be, with the sun going into the Virgo, remember that, the last week, Venus is in Virgo the whole month. It's the 8th house, a lot of financial obligations. Saturn, taskmaster Saturn's in the second house of income. Really worried about money, got to get more serious and focused how to make more money. But it's holding back the Jupiter-Mars. Now the Jupiter-Mars is in the 5th. The 5th could be taking a risk in speculation and investing. The Mars-Jupiter has the exuberance. The Saturn is, got to be cautious. I'm worried. What if I lose my money? But with the Jupiter-Saturn, that can be financial fluctuations, instability, job changes, project changes, and Saturn is in the second house of income. There could be a lot of worrying about monies. Now, the new moon in the 7th, so that could be relationships and professional offers with the Jupiter, bringing a lot of opportunity and growth. But August the 4th was the new moon when we were setting our intentions for those, and most of people don't even realize what they're doing, but with that new moon period, you're now thinking, this is what I want now. This is where I want to go now. 2 weeks later is the full moon. The full moon brings to light what's working and not working of what you desired from the new moon. Your new moon is in the 7th house of marriage, partnerships, contracts. The full moon will be on August the 19th, is going to be in your 1st house of the self, of one's individuality, of leadership, of visibility. But the full moon is going to be squared or hard angled to rebellious Uranus, unexpected Uranus. So you could be in the center of attention, public focus with that full moon in your 1st house. You certainly could be feeling really emotional about worrying about, are you going to be losing your individuality, your freedom, if you're getting too involved in a relationship. That could also be business. Should you give up your personal freedoms in work and business, go into a partnership, would you be losing? So there's that kind of crisis going on at the same time that full moon is hitting hard on the 19th. That's the peak of the Jupiter square Saturn on the 19th. So there's this financial crisis around the 19th, and it could be propelling you that you need a partner, or you got to get out there and find more clients, expand your customer base. Now, intimacy. So Venus, the planet of love and marriage and desire, will be in Virgo once a year from August the 4th till August the 29th. But when it's in Virgo, it's in the 8th house. Now the sun shines in the 8th house come the 21st, but Venus is already there from August the 4th. When it comes to romance and intimacy, the 8th house wants a deeper, richer experience. If you should be meeting somebody new, the Venus in the 8th house, you're going to be more consumed with passion. But Mercury is retrograde. Not always the kiss of death when it comes to relationships. But if you should start up a new relationship in August, especially from August the 4th, if it lasts, then whatever you thought you were expecting, what you came to believe and assume, could be completely different. If you had known all this, maybe you wouldn't have started the relationship. Now that you are attached to the relationship, maybe, you're just going to have to make all these adjustments. And it could still end up being a really good relationship. The Venus in the 8th house just wants more intimacy. Now, if you are in a relationship, that new moon is putting a real focus on your partnership, and the Venus is really desiring a deeper, intimate connection. And the Jupiter-Mars is in the 5th house of romance, playfulness, entertainment, children. So there are some really important financial restructuring going on, but there's a lot of joy and romance and pleasures. Could be great for having a child or bringing your inner child out to play. If you'd like to book, I want to thank you for watching. We'll start there. I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go, that's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.